Hello, everyone. Welcome to not another episode of Guess a Guess, but we're gonna be doing a bit of a replay review, a coaching kind of session in a way. So the fighter uploaded this replay onto the Littlewargame Discord, and he was asking essentially how to counter Mech in the late game. But yeah, I decided to take a look to see what things he could have done better, things like that, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, it'll be more of a coaching kind of thing. I'm gonna point out some mistakes that he could have that he made, some things they could have done better, things like that. So let's get right into it. All right. So I'll be mostly like uh, doing it from the fighter's point of view because they were the one who sent in the replay. Early worker scout, I don't hate it. You could have tried to get that worker, but whatever. Raider opening, looks like you're scouting around as well. Okay, fine, fine. Um, so I guess this SimCity is not ideal. If I like, you could have, if you wanted to wall it, you could have walled it here. I think with two buildings, or you could do what birby is doing here to get like a better wall at the front. This is just, you don't have enough experience with the ladder maps, I guess. It happens, it's fine. But if you really want to, if you want to be one of those ranked grinders, you definitely want to have a good understanding of what each map is like and stuff like that. So, learning how to wall. Why is this? Where is this worker going? Like, why are you not bringing it back? Is my question. Looks like you're gonna win or lose. Okay, just escape. That's fine. Yeah, I still don't know what that worker is doing, but you should really just bring it back at this point. Um, why is your castle so late? You're going for 3 raiders? 3 raiders before castle is not ideal. This worker looks like it's just gonna go down. That's just a mistake. Um, yeah, there was no reason for you to be scouting all the way over here. The Raider is an excellent early game unit, and it does all the scouting that you could want. Your castle is significantly later because you went for the extra Raider before, and you're also going to be supply blocked. Um, if you didn't lose that worker, you would be supply blocked like before this, but because you lost the Raider, you're not as heavily supply blocked, but still, you're going to be supply blocked. You're not going to be able to produce anything from the racks, and your castle is later. So essentially, you need to do damage with your 3 raiders while they only have 2 units out or 3 units out, and if you don't, then your build isn't justified. It looks like this raider might fall. Is able to escape, but then this raider is gonna come from behind, and yeah. So this is a disaster already. Um, just want to pull that back. Oh no! Oh no! That's 2 raiders for nothing. You do get 1 archer, and you might be able to get this one, but I don't think so. I guess you did delay this castle. Oh, you do get that one. I still don't think it's worth it, honestly. Um, it's very risky, and it's just safer just to go for two raiders or just 1 raider. A little bit of a mistake of birby here. You definitely could have gotten that if they were microing. But yeah. Alright, looks like Burby's gonna go for a second rack, so the safest variety of builds out of racks. Are you satisfied with the damage? Do you feel safe enough to go for a third? Probably not. I think you're probably gonna go for a second racks as well. But yeah, at this point you're already a little bit behind. Um, what is this worker gonna do? Just gonna wall that off? Or you okay? I like that. Just putting a house there. And yeah, so the second racks. Second house. So look at this SimCity. This is not ideal. Once again, just make sure you learn your ladder maps if you are going to play on them to, you know, uh, have that sense of what you're going to do, where you're going to wall, stuff like that. Obviously, it's not easy to do, especially if everyone plays unravaged. So um, this raider gets in, gets the scout. Did he see? No, he doesn't see the second racks, but it looks like they are gonna see it right now. Okay, now he knows everything. This raider escaping. What you could have done here is you could have placed a worker here and a worker here to try to trap it, but that's okay. It's okay if you let it escape. But ideally, you would have captured that raider and prevented it from escaping. Looks like Burby's gonna go for a quick third after seeing this 2 rack, so I like that, you know exactly what's going up. The raider did all of its scouting, so going for a quick third with the given information, good idea. What are you gonna do? You have no scouting. One thing is you definitely need to have your raider on the other side of the map. Are you going for a third Rax? What makes you think you need a third Rax? Why are you going for a third Rax? Bird, I like the bird because you need scouting, but you can just do the same amount of scouting with the raider, especially if you hadn't lost the two other raiders. You want to see if the third base is coming up. You want to see the number of racks. You want to see, like, if you had your raider here, you would have seen this move out. And also 3 racks is not exactly a good build order in my opinion. If you want to go for a super all-in, you want to go 4 racks. If you don't want to build more than 2 racks before getting your natural. Or your third, excuse me. Looks like they're gonna go for a workshop. But yeah, 3 racks is not ideal in my opinion. A lot of the times, just 2 racks does the job, or 4 racks if you want to be super aggressive. These armies are going to pass each other in the middle of the map. Looks like they didn't see each other. Birby's gonna try to attack the third base that isn't there. But yeah, the reason why the third Rax isn't that good is generally you're not gonna have it's not gonna kick in if you're gonna go for like a mini push or something like that. Be a little bit aggressive. It's not gonna be worth the money. Like you get the racks, you get like maybe 2 archers, something like that, and then you hit across the map. So is it really worth it to get 2 archers to delay your third base that much? That kind of thing, right? At this point, I think this Rax has only made what one archer, maybe 2, and while you're going for this push, so this push. Basically, it has like 2 more archers than it normally does, at the cost of having a way later third base. So not ideal. Yeah, let's see how this fight goes. You have less archers at this moment, but you do have a concave. You do want to target. The micro pulling back is really good. But you really shouldn't have fought that before the rest of your army came. If the rest of your army came, then you would have been able to take a much better fight, and this fight might have been a lot better. But as it stands, not ideal, I think. A little bit of mismicro from Birby over here. You are gonna get the tower. Looks like you try to snipe the bird. Yeah, it's not amazing for sure. It could have been a lot better. I think at this point you've officially lost the game essentially. Basically. Like your third base is a lot later. You went for 3 racks and then you lost your entire army essentially without doing any significant damage. Yeah, I think right now it's kind of against a competent player you would have basically lost the game. I'm not saying it's completely over, but this is a losing position, let's say. Yeah, so not ideal, but we'll see what else happens. What did you scout with the bird? Looks like you scouted not much. Well, you saw everything, so I guess there isn't much to scout. Yeah, this bird is also gonna go in. You're gonna go for mages. I guess that's because you were talking about like, what do I do against Mech? Also, these soldiers, you're kind of donating them to your opponent right now. Soldiers, they're not really that good if they can be kited. So all these, I think you lost 3 or 2. How many units lost? 2 soldiers, and you did like basically no damage. So that's just like 1,600 minerals. Sorry, 160 minerals down the drain for nothing. You're just donating it to them. Running away is good because you obviously can't fight that. Picking off an archer, not bad. And yeah, at this point, your opponent is going for a a 4th base. Their upgrades are later than yours, but other than that, they just have a commanding position in this game. Yeah. The Mages Guild is up. So if you are gonna go for mages, you definitely want to do mage drops. So if you want to get airships with them, you want to get you want that flexibility, right? So what you can do is you can with the airship you can pick up your mages really quickly if in case they're in a precarious situation. You can use them to do drops, stuff like that. So you definitely want that. This was a pretty good fight. You took like what 4 archers worth without anything, but that's a bit of poor micro. You don't want to be fighting up a ramp. And yeah, Um, this Mage's Guild was done a long time ago, and you started that pretty late. I feel like. Also, that reminds me, your upgrade start is pretty late as well. So, yeah, I think right now it's just like you're already behind, and you got to be thinking of what am I gonna do to get back into this game, right? So you have to somehow understand the situation you're in. You recognize that you're in a losing position, and you need to be doing something so that you can find a way to win, right? So you gotta go for like a comeback mechanic. You gotta be like, oh, I gotta maybe try to do mage drops and kill some mineral lines so that I can get back into this game, stuff like that, right? Um, so yeah, I guess that comes with understanding the position you're in and everything like that. Also, your map vision is atrocious compared to your opponent. If you look at the map from your point of view, you have one bird here and that's it. Everything else is on your map, on your side of the map. If you look at Birby, he had this tower on the side. He has archers going on everywhere. So he definitely has better map vision. He's gonna be aware of when or if your army moves out. I would like to see, like, look at this Raiders here checking this space. He had this archer here, but like it got killed by your army, stuff like that. You, on the other hand, have, oops, wrong person. You have like no vision other than this one bird. So at least this bird is your saving grace. But you're not aware of this fourth base. You're not aware if he went for more workshops, which he did. So that's not ideal. Information is so important in a game like Littlewargame, where you're able to make decisions based on your opponent's army movements, army composition, stuff like that, and use it to your advantage. So definitely need to work on the scouting. Yeah, like blind towers against what, right? Do you think their dragons are coming, or like you should be scouting for it rather than just putting them down because, oh, I think I'm gonna get dragons. I mean, it's like a bit of a meta game thing where, oh, if I'm playing against this guy, he loves going dragons, and so therefore I'll do it. Okay, sure, but just in general, it's not the right idea. Okay, let's see how this fight goes. Move command, which is not good. Fireballs do hit a portion of the army, but catapults are waiting supreme as well. The micro is not ideal, and you're just kind of fighting standing in there. Yeah, okay. I mean, you did go for a slow field, you hit some fireballs, but the fight definitely could have been much better for you. You want to spread your army out, not come in from one place, because or else a lot of splash damage will happen. So that's a good fireball. So like the catapults got a lot of shots off. You want some soldiers as well, obviously, but also don't lose them before they come into play. Your opponent's going for a fifth base already. Your fourth was cancelled, and you're rebuilding. You're already behind, and yeah, this is just not ideal. You ideally want to have your army and then your spellcasters in different hotkeys. So what you can do is you can micro your units separately compared to your spellcasters. That's generally what's ideal. I guess it might be a little bit too much micro for you, but yeah, this push out was not good. You're just gonna lose all your mages. So mages, because they're a mana based unit, the longer they stay alive, the more time they have to generate that energy, the more value they get, right? So if you lose them all, then that's not good. But if you keep them alive and you're able to regenerate the mana, go for more fireballs and more fireballs, then eventually they're gonna get better and better trades. And yeah, so that's something you don't want to be I guess pushing with mages that have no energy, right? So if those had full energy, then you could use them to attack and stuff like that. But at that point, you had no energy, so you want to be a little bit more passive with them. Yeah, not ideal for sure. And yeah, like I said, you're just way far behind in income. If you look at the income, you've lost more units, and also you're behind in the current income and also the total income by a lot. So not good, not good at all. But yeah, just the early game was not ideal, and by this time, there's not much you can do, honestly. Let's talk about army composition. So if you once you realize that it's gonna be a lot of catapults, you want more soldiers rather than archers, especially if you can't micro it. If you can micro, then archers and soldiers. A good mix is ideal. I like in the best situation where you're microing everything. But if you're not, just go for a whole bunch of soldiers, honestly, and just set up big flanks before you do the fight, so it's not a big a lot of micro that you have to do during the fight. So when you're fighting into a whole bunch of like catapult armies like this, you want to go for a big surround attack from like 360 ideally, at least a 180 surround. Yeah, that's what you want to do. At this point, you're already dead. So I think this is about the point where you were talking about, oh, it's so imbalanced, but you already lost the game way longer, way before that. This catapult drop is still in your, at least you saw it. That's good. Well done over there. But yeah, it's over a long time ago. Yeah. I guess that's pretty much gonna be it. I think you're gonna say GG anytime soon, honestly. If I had to guess, at least. Yeah, I'll just speed it up, honestly. I feel like there's not much more to say. This army's just gonna walk across the map uncontested. You do have this base, but your opponent is maxed and already has more bases than you, so... Yeah, okay, so let's recap what you did and what you could have done better. So first off, you had an interesting build. You went for 3 raiders instead of 2 or 1, and normally if you micro perfectly, you're gonna be supply blocked. If you don't micro perfectly, then you're gonna lose your raiders, and what's the point of having them, right? So not the best decision making in my opinion. And then you went for a 3 racks, and then you pushed once you had like maybe 1 extra or 2 extra units. So at that point, it's not ideal. Like, is it really worth it to pay 125 for the racks and also like the 160 for the 2 units to hit with 2 more archers? I feel like it's better to just go for a quicker third and just play from there. Unless you're gonna go for like four racks or something like that. Yeah, I don't think it's ideal. And then you fought over here initially without like like half of your army, so that means it's just the whole point of your build kind of like falls apart, and you were fighting without the advantage that you had built for yourself with the third racks. So that was not ideal. Your scouting was lacking, so you didn't know when he took this 4th base, that 4th base. You didn't see the initial move out that the archers did. You didn't see any other move outs pretty much after that as well. So your scouting, you didn't really know if you went for more workshops and stuff like that. So yeah, your scouting was lacking. It was not ideal. Additionally, you went for mages. Your upgrades were kind of late on both the mages and the fireball upgrade and the +1 attack. Just because I guess macro, you just didn't start them as soon as they finished, so that's an issue. And then yeah, so it was a tough game. Yeah, it definitely feels frustrating if you lose, but yeah, there were a lot of things that you could have improved on. And then stuff like the fight that you took, and then continuing to move forward with no mana left for fireballs means that the mage is just a worse archer, right? So yeah, and also I would recommend going for the advanced workshop and going for airships just to put them in the mages in your airships to add that extra mobility, add that potential for some fireball harassment on mineral lines, on gold lines, stuff like that. And even airship. If one thing that you could do is put soldiers in the airships and drop them on top of the army, stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of things that you could definitely improve on. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this coaching session in a way. But yeah, If anyone else wants to send in some replays for me to analyze, for me to give a little bit of advice, you can do so. Yeah, I guess we might turn this into a new series, but if there's enough interest. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.